Welcome to the second episode in a Legendarium series about Greek mythology. In this episode, Prometheus, we will talk about the life of Prometheus, how he brought fire to the world, the terrible punishment that Zeus inflicted upon him for doing so, and the flood which happened as an indirect result of Prometheus's actions. In Greek mythology, Zeus only became king of the gods after overthrowing his father Kronos in an epic battle between Zeus's Olympians and Kronos' Titans. One of the Titans who fought for Kronos was Prometheus, the son of Iapetus and Clymene. While the other Titans used nothing but brute strength in their struggle against the gods, Prometheus preferred to use his wits. During the 10-year struggle, Prometheus attempted to persuade his fellow Titans to use their wits in battle, and when he failed, Prometheus abandoned them in disgust and cast his lot with the Olympian gods. After Zeus defeated the Titans, he forced one of Prometheus's own brothers, Atlas, to support the weight of the heavens upon his shoulders. Meanwhile, the Olympians began populating the world they conquered. Prometheus used clay watered by the blood of his brother Titans to make human beings, and the goddess Athena, later the patron deity of Athens, sent humanity a soul carried on butterfly wings. Afterwards, the gods gave Prometheus and his brother Epimetheus the task of giving humanity and the other animals features. Epimetheus gave the creatures names, along with special gifts that would allow them to survive, like thick fur for the bears, wings for the birds, and teeth for the wolves. However, Epimetheus proved careless with his gifts. By the time that men arrived for their presents, Epimetheus had nothing left to give except for a little hair and some nails. This left humanity wholly unclothed, helpless, and freezing during the winter months. Alone among the ruling powers, Prometheus pitied weak, helpless humanity. So he raided the workshop of Hephaestus, the blacksmith of the gods. Prometheus hid fire in a hollow fennel stalk and gave it to humanity. It proved to be a spectacular gift indeed. With it, humanity could remain warm in the winter months, use fire to make metal tools and weapons to defend themselves against animals, cook their meat, and create many skilled trades. Indeed, in the real world, Prometheus was worshipped in Athens, especially by potters who used fire in their kilns. Indeed, Athens held a yearly torch race in the gods' honor, where runners competed while carrying lit torches. Indeed, in an alternate version of the story, which highlights Prometheus's wits, men already had fire, but lost it when Prometheus tricked Zeus into eating bones and fat at a banquet instead of the good meat by hiding the bad bits in the stomach of an ox and coating it in tasty-looking fat. Angered and knowing of Prometheus's fondness for humanity, Zeus stole fire from men, and Prometheus simply stole it back from us. Indeed, in memory of this version of events, the Greeks always sacrificed the bones and fat of animals to the gods while keeping the good meat for themselves. In any case, the consequences of Prometheus's theft proved dire for him. An outraged Zeus punished the Titan by having him taken far to the east, likely to the Caucasus Mountains. It is typical of Greek mythology that great events occurred at the fringes of what was then the known world. Here Prometheus was chained to a rock or stone pillar, and every day Zeus sent an eagle to eat the Titan's liver. Even worse, the liver regrew every night and the eagle returned every day to torment Prometheus for eternity. Fortunately for humankind's benefactor, the hero Hercules happened to pass Prometheus's pillar upon returning from one of his many labors. Hercules killed the eagle with an arrow and finally ended Prometheus's torment. In a surprising act of mercy, Zeus allowed Prometheus to remain free, though Prometheus had to continue wearing a piece of his chain and the stone pillar he was long fixed to for the rest of eternity. While that may have marked an eventual end for Prometheus's punishment, Zeus had something else in mind for humanity, to punish us for receiving the fire. During the Silver Age of Greek mythology, the early years of Zeus's reign, there were only men in the world. So to punish humanity, Zeus ordered Hephaestus, the smith of the gods, to make the first woman Pandora. Zeus sent her into the world with Pandora's box, which she eventually opened and released war, poverty, famine, hunger, and all other evils into the world. It is telling about the misogyny of the ancient Greeks that they considered the creation of women to be a punishment sent by the gods. Changed by Pandora's box, men used Prometheus's gift of fire to wage war upon one another. The Greeks called this era the Bronze Age, a time that corresponded to an era that lasted from 1600 BC to 1200 BC, when men did use bronze as the basis of metalworking. Later Greeks believed that the men of this age were terrible and warlike, building armor, weapons, and even houses out of bronze. The classical Greeks also believed that Bronze Age men mostly ate meat and, worst of all, did not honor the gods with prayer or sacrifice. Angered, Zeus eventually sent a flood that swept away all of humankind, an event that obviously parallels the biblical flood survived by Noah. But it also parallels the real-life Bronze Age collapse, when the great kingdoms made by bronze and the bronze trade, like Egypt, the Hittite Empire, and Minoa, simply collapsed within a generation. The sole survivor of the flood in Greek mythology was said to be a son of Prometheus named Deucalion and his wife Phaera, who hid in a wooden chest and floated on the water until it receded. And with all of the bronze men dead, the couple repopulated the world. And that wraps things up for this episode of The Legendarium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.